So just about 3 minutes. So whatever program you do in school, you can create a content like that, then upload. Because when you grow up, after you finish from here, you would like to look back at how you look like during your time. Because you have already become a principal. It's good to have a document of how you live your life. We also have dances, so people will get bored. Oh! The exercises so that you will go sleep. That's the pictorials. Okay. I would like to show one more file, and this has got to do with the Marina Bay Sands as our venue in Singapore. Okay, Asia's most expensive center. Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. Okay, so last file. You can have more if you explore. This is Singapore. So imagine if a researcher you will reach this place. I traveled because of research. That was me many years ago. That's the building. So my suggestion to Dr. Chan is that the countries represented in the conference will have flags all on the stage. So if there are 7 countries, 7 flags. So during the pictorial, it's really international. That's from Saudi Arabia. That's a proof that we were ISO certified. Alright, so let's pause for a while. The point I'm trying to raise in here is, everybody say this, whatever we do among ourselves, no matter how simple, if we have video documentation, and then we upload that, it becomes a big event. Yeah. So, say this, big event, no video, no event. Because nobody will know what you were doing. And then you have all the facilities. So after the event, you just, compress everything in 3 minutes or 4 minutes and put it there. So we populate the world with our new ideas. So my challenge even to my country is, if you're going to search for the name of your school, university in YouTube, and you are not putting content to your YouTube channel of the school, what comes out is actually the scandals that people put in the name of the school. So to avoid that, we put in content. So please say this with me. Tonight, I will try to create content, upload it in my YouTube channel, and then tomorrow we'll view that on screen. Right. So, no more than 3 minutes. Because a video clip that is longer than 3 minutes will have very few viewers. If you will see, the shorter the clip, the more people will have an opportunity to view your clip. Okay. So, in universities, I asked the president to write a memo to the university that all teachers, employees, and students will check on the video and then like it to make it viral. And the alumni. And so in one day you will have 25,000 people liking what you are doing. Imagine that. Only 3 minutes liked by 25,000 people. Very good. Okay. Now, I think before we close, I'd like us to take a look at maybe 2 files of this we're putting in tomorrow. Critical causes of papers being rejected. Okay? So, everybody say this. What are the grounds that I will be rejected in my application to be published? Okay. Number 1 is you do not follow the author guidelines. So the style of writing should not be based on how you were taught here, but the style of writing should be based on the standard of the journal that they publish at their website, under editorial policy and guide for authors, because they will tell you specifically how you should write according to their standards. And then you download a copy of the previous articles, and then from the copy you pattern your paper. That is following the standards. On the next page we have here, poor writing and grammar. Okay. Yes. So how do we address this? We can use Grammarly. And if you publish in very competitive journals like England, Germany, Singapore, I would suggest that you ask the editor, I need help. Can you refer to me an organization or agency that edits scientific publications? And then I pay. And that's how we got our publication in the US. Because in the Philippines, we have Filipino English. In Singapore, you have Singaporean English. Then the British English, the center has a P in the middle, center. And then their colorization doesn't have a C but only an S. That's unique. Now, if you're going to use the English of Cambodia, and then for a publication in Britain, they will not accept it. So, the better way to do is, you ask the editor if he can give you a technical person who can edit. And then he will refer you and then clean the paper. So more likely, 95% you can get accepted for quality English. Okay? And then after that, there is a journal mismatch. Can everybody say this? Great journals are very, very specific. For example, there is a journal which is called the Journal of Parasitology. So American Journal of Parasitology. What do they publish? Anything about parasites. So they don't publish in the Journal of Health. They don't publish in the Journal of Biology, it's very broad, but only on that. There is also an International Journal of Mycology, exclusive to the study of fungi. So everybody say this. The more specific the journal, the better it is. Because journals are not marketplace where you can find rice, fish, clothes, watches, etc. No. Alright. After that, the next file is that you lack originality, novelty, and significance. Okay? Example, a survey of the reading abilities of the elementary pupils. And so, that is nothing new. Okay? So, there is no more novelty, no more originality, no more significance. And then another one is flawed methodology. Something is wrong with the method. What did I tell you this morning? Everybody say this? If I'm using a method for the first time, go. I need to find people who publish using the method I am using. I email them, I interview them, I let them review my method section. I let them see my results. And then I let them see my conclusions. So I will not be guilty of flawed methodology. Because on your own, how will you know that your method is wrong? You are still students. You don't have much experience. But if somebody else who is published and who is using your method, telling you that this is how to do it right, then you can do it right. Okay. Alright. The next page tells you over-interpretation of results. So, my example for this is that I have a graduate student who said that in his findings, please say this, the majority of the teachers finish bachelor degrees only. Only 15% started enrolling in a graduate program. So that is the result. Where is the over-interpretation? It's like this. Say this. This means they lack the skills to teach. And their performance could be affected. That is wrong. Why are you saying that simply because one is not a holder of a master's degree that he cannot teach well? There are people who have doctorates who are bad teachers. There are people who only finish college but they are very good teachers. Your data did not say that if you are able to finish masters, you are a better teacher. No. Your data only says that the majority of them are graduates of college degrees only, with only 15% being exposed to graduate level. So you should not over-interpret that they are not able to teach well simply because they did not advance in their studies. Get that point? So what do we learn from now? Everybody say this. I will limit my interpretation to what my data can only provide. They agree with that? Okay. Now here, inaccurate conclusions not supported by data. You are concluding without data. So example, if I were a mentor and you are trained to become mentors, and then you have a student who is writing a thesis, and then I would ask the question, how many conclusions do you have? 4. Okay. For your conclusion number 2, what table data, give me the number and the title of the table that supports your conclusion number 2. Because please say this, you cannot write a conclusion without evidence from data. Because that is your personal perception. And personal perceptions have no place in a conclusion of a scientific paper. Right? Another one is violation of research ethics, publication ethics. So why are we saying that we are violating a research ethics? Example, everybody say this. I get my respondents, but I don't have an informed consent. They did not sign it. And then I reveal their names, including their school. These are violations. So the editor will not accept the paper because if there will be a lawsuit, the editorial board will be part of that. Okay. Can everybody say this? The situation is delicate. Say that. When the editorial board approves your paper for publication, it means one thing. That the board will be liable, answerable legally To any questions of law arising from the manuscript. So the ones who will go to jail is the publisher and the editorial board. Because the errors of the researcher will now become the errors of the editorial board. The board will be answerable to the errors of the researcher. That's how difficult it is to be a member of the editorial board. Because you are supposed to be the judiciary. You are supposed to be the court of good and ethical practice. So if you are not careful and there are litigations or cases arising from the malpractice of the writers, you will be answerable. So that's the meaning there. Violation of research ethics. Or when there is a conflict of interest, for example, I am a scholar, I am supported by more cigarettes. And then I'm going to do a research about the effects of cigarette on health. And then my conclusion is, it is healthy to smoke.
Yes.
Why? Because I cannot kill my sponsor. So that is an ethical practice. Or, can anybody say this? We are the implementors of a program. We are evaluating the program. No way. Because if you are the implementer, you cannot be a judge of your program. Because if there are weaknesses, you will not write them. Because you are digging your own brain. So another third party who was a part of the implementation will have to be the evaluator of your program. Okay. So that's ethics. Failure to revise and resubmit after peer review. You know, when people submit their articles, they are very slow in complying. But then when it's ranking time, when they need it for promotion, they would like to rush it up. No. The moment that you receive the email telling you what to do it immediately and well. Okay? And then after that, you have here. Other rejections not related to quality, space, or strengths. Example, go. The journal is asking for 10 pages. Say that.
The journal is asking for 10 pages.
You submitted 30.
You submitted 30.
Very well written.
Very well written.
But beyond the 10-page requirement.
Yeah.
So, if the journal will say, submit no more than 3,000 words, you highlight that in Microsoft, and at the bottom left, there is a number of words. So, if it says 3,000, do not send 6. Because the editor will have to cut and cut and cut, and he will not want to be bothered by your failure to follow instructions. Okay? Regarding the instructions level, there is a test in the Philippines, alright, when the instruction is, you are supposed to look at the instructions from top to bottom of the page. Begin now. And so, they answered number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, they answered. Then at the bottom of the page, answer only the last 2. Do you think you will pass? No. Because following instruction is part of the text. And so they cannot erase their paper because they have already completed all the 48 items. So only 2 were lacking. And then, the instruction was answer only the last 2. Imagine that one. Okay. Now another one. The journal receives more than one submission. For example, you are doing a math or a mentoring paper, and then 5 people submitted about mentoring. So they cannot publish all the 5. So that's an example for that. And then, reference, this is my references, and I think I'm done. Alright, do you have a question for that? Why you can be rejected? I have been asked, what is the best formula to learn how to write good research? I only have one answer. Please write this answer. Because this is my best answer, so I'd like you to write that. Okay? Find articles from LibGen. Because LibGen, all the articles are expensive, right? Find articles from LibGen and other reputable websites. Download and read every day. Very simple. How can you become a good writer if you do not read every day? You know, I attended a ballet lecture. Yes, in Manila. It was conducted by Liza Makuha, a Philippine scholar of Bolshoi ballet company in Russia, Moscow. And this is what she said. 2 hours, of floor exercises, the stretching and all. How many hours? 2. How long is the rehearsal? 45 minutes. So which is longer? The preparation of the body or the rehearsal? The preparation of the body. So they will stretch, they will do like that, and do like that, and then okay. To prepare the body. And then after that, rehearsal. And then I asked the question, how do your choreographers teach you? Do they demonstrate how to dance? No way. Because we are professional dancers. They will just mention the step and then how many counts. For example, El Gania with a close to the right, 7 counts. 1, 2, 3. That's all. So no longer will the teacher say, do it like this. No more. Because language is part of dance. They will just tell you what step. So that's an example of following the instructions. Okay. Now here, I'd like to mention about these standards on how to become Scopus and Thomson Reuters published. Okay, please read the scope. The wider the scope, the higher the acceptance value. Meaning if the scope goes beyond your country, because it talks about ASEAN, continental, and global, then by any means, you are an international merchandise. Next, let's read. Multinational co-authorship. Articles authored by different nationalities get preferred since these offer country insights. So you are a Cambodian, you get somebody as a partner in France, another in Canada, another in Singapore, another in Egypt, and then the paper is very good to read because the presence of different cultures of the writers provide highly significant and colorful and meaningful insights into the paper. So what is the secret? Multinational co-authorship. Another one, expert consultants involvement. What does this mean? Let's read. Studies which have been reviewed by experts in particular areas and recognized in the acknowledgement section gives higher attention. I told you about expert for instrument, expert for method, expert for bibliography. You get them and then cite them in the acknowledgement. In the next page, reference authors, okay, from their database. So, everybody say this. Utilizing authors from Thomson Reuters and Scopus Index journals in the list of references boosts impact factor of author citation. Alright, everybody say this, go. If I want to submit my paper to this journal, say that. I will get the previous authors and their works related to mine. Because when I get published, all those authors will get 1 citation each, and the journal citation will become increased. That is the technique. Oh, so, wow, if you will do that, fly high in the sky, Cambodia will be happy and will never be dry. Let's read the next one. New discoveries. Okay. Studies which yield breakthrough new knowledge have edge. Then another one, Articles in high impact journals. Reviewers are working in reviewing papers slated in high impact journals. What is a high impact journal? Many citations. Okay. Articles with utilization, transformative value. These read these together, go. Articles which have new information with high potential for utilization and by nature have a transformative value to society at the end of acceptance. So at the end of the day, what good will this paper serve? How can society benefit if this paper becomes published? And then we have the last two, high citation potential. What does that mean? Articles which can be cited by current world influencers get edge. And the last, credibility of funders. Highly reputable funders give an edge to the paper. Oh, that's it.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
What does the word age here mean?
Huh?
Age. Like highly reputable funder give an age to the paper. So the word age here means.
Okay. For example, if your paper, if the production of the research was funded by the Ministry of Education, then that is reputable. Okay. Or if your paper has been funded by an international organization, it means you're a good researcher. Because if you were not good, they will not get you anyway. And then second, everybody say this, funders screen the paper using high-level scientists before they approve the grant. So if I am the funder, and then you're applying for a 2 million grant, then I will hire 3 people who are experts to look at this paper. Because how can I give 2 million if I am not certain if you are very good? You can consume all the 2 million and then you cannot even finish the research. That's why funders are necessary. So, in my work as a teacher, usually students do not have funders, right? Because they are not professional researchers. So I tell them, you go back and go to your governor, you go to your city mayor, you go to your local government unit, and then you tell them, can you give me funding even if it is very small? Because whether it is very small or very big, you will not mention the amount anyway. But you will just simply say to the Lord Mayor of this community for the funding of the grant for research. You are not saying it's only $10. With the $10 or $1 million, that is funding, right? Oh. And so far, these local officials are so happy to donate a little amount, and then you can claim that they have funded the paper. Because without funding, then there is question and doubt on the quality of the research. Why question? Everybody say this? If no funder, it means you are making your own money as support to the research. So the quality controls are always sacrificed. Why are you only having 100 people? Because it's only what you can pay. But if there is a funder, they will require you a huge number of people to be far, wider scope, more complex methodology. And that's the beauty of a funding agency. So my suggestion is for the center to have a research that is collaborated by the faculty of the locals, and you have the 2 or 3 foreigners, and then together you create a study. No one would reject that paper. Why? Because it has multinational co-authorship. Okay? So, single authorship is difficult for publication. Because it means that you did not have an opportunity to talk things out, to source ideas about with your colleagues, with your co-members in the research, because you're the only one working. So it will be a lonely struggle. However, in the university, when you have a doctoral dissertation or a master's thesis, you cannot have a pair. You have to be alone. But after that, you should have partners. Okay. So, any questions? Okay. So it's 4:30. So unless you have other questions, I will sign up and tomorrow we continue. With my expectation that you will have your YouTube content uploaded in your YouTube channel. Yes. Using your phone or your laptop. So, if possible, you try to test the screen-o-matic. Okay? So you will practice how to be content creators. Just reading. According to sa video. Yes. Okay. So I think the easiest way out is search how to download a video
I
file.
think มันเอาอยู่ไปได้จากบ้าน
Then you can review it.
ไม่อยากไม่เข้าไอ้แม่
Okay, thank you and good afternoon.
No error bên đây.
Con nghịch nó là đấy.
I lost I freestyle មកជិះគាត់ចម្រុះអី
Vì cái cầu
Photo.
with the superstar because we just finished the show
con cháu mới lớn.
อ๋อมันพูดกับเจ็บ
Because if you take teaching as a job, it is tiresome.
yeah
But if you think it is a show, it's entertainment.
entertainment okay
Because when learners cannot have joy and fun and they cannot laugh, then your classroom becomes the same thing.
okay
Right?
if the lesson is also fun but for example in mathematics we cannot find the fun time
Con chỉ nói nghe được qua để fan phải.
Then you look at the teacher and they will have fun.
you need to create
Okay.